Thank you very much, Chair Moderator. Really, as Malawi, we are part and parcel of the Global Disability Summit commitment initiative. Basically, really, you may have some progressive pieces of legislation in the promotion of rights of persons with disabilities, right from our Constitution, Section 13, that talks about fundamental principles of national policy, includes issues of disability there. And Section 20, the anti-discrimination clause, prohibits whatever kind of discrimination on whatever basis, including disabilities. Section 30 provides for a right to development for all citizens, and expressly providing that special measures shall be taken regarding children, women, and persons with disabilities in the promotion of these rights. And we also have different other pieces of legislation, including the signing and the ratification of the UNCRPD. Currently, we're talking of the ADP. Being party to the sustainable development goals. All these issues, sometimes you may have good pieces of policies and legislation, but implementation becomes wanting. And the coming of the Global Disability Summit commitments has helped in accelerating bringing the agency in the implementation of some of these disability rights obligation by the state, more especially the government of Malawi. And running towards 2022 Global Disability Summit, as a movement, we undertook the review of the 2018 commitments to see how the government has performed in terms of the implementation of those kind of commitments. And in the same process, we were actually doing consultations amongst our constituents to hear from them what kind of commitments would they want this time around as we're heading towards 2022 Global Disability Summit being hosted by Norway as well as Ghana. And in doing so, we, in addition to consulting our own constituents, we also consulted government ministries, departments, and agencies. And eventually we had a package that we submitted to the government, our line ministry, responsible for disability, which is Ministry of Gender, Community Development and Social Welfare. And fortunately, what we noted was that the government adopted almost everything that we submitted to them, that which we suggested to them. And during the summit, our then Vice President, the late Dr. Saulos Kraus Tilima, may his soul rest in peace, he actually made a presentation to the summit. And our commitments had 5 focus areas: issues of meaningful engagement of OPDs, as well as participation of persons with disabilities, inclusive education, inclusive health, inclusive livelihood and social protection, as well as issues of climate change and action and disaster risk reduction. And over the years, our advocacy work has been informed by these kind of commitments. And one thing that we had to do was to ask the Department of Disability and Elder Affairs to call for a meeting where we can do the planning together, so that each and every MDA, relevant MDA, knows its responsibility. And we developed an action plan, and that particular activity was supported by site servers. And the other processes were also supported by Disability Rights Fund. And in this particular meeting where we were doing the action process, One advocacy that we actually presented to the government was the setting up of a disability technical working group that would help in monitoring the implementation of these particular action plan, in addition to other relevant instruments that are there. And almost 3 months later, there was the establishment of the Disability Technical Working Group, chaired by the Principal Secretary in the Line Ministry. In addition to that, in the area of education, some of the commitments that were made that have been achieved was basically the development of an inclusive education policy, which the Minister of Education for quite some time has been resisting, to say that all education matters are being taken care of by the National Education Policy. But after this particular GDS commitment, we saw that the Minister of Education started the development of the inclusive education policy, and FEDOMA and our constituents have been part of this particular process. It's about to go to cabinet this time around. And in addition to that, the issue of the repealing of the Handicapped Persons Act of 1971 was one of them. And on 5th December 2023, our Parliament passed the Persons with Disabilities Act that actually repealed the Handicapped Persons Act of 1971, including the